Britain allowed the United States to access and store digital records of Britons not suspected of wrongdoing in a deal that they agreed on in 2007. We're joined from London by i24news British correspondent Jonathan Sacerdoti. Jonathan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Reactions in Britain to this, what some would deem a very explosive report?
Absolutely. I think The Guardian, in presenting this report the way they have tried to put maximum emphasis on the idea that civilians could have been under surveillance by the NSA, and that is a gross breach of people's privacy. However, it's absolutely The Guardian who've extrapolated the worst possible case scenario they can from the story. And where they've focused is on these memos, draft memo, in fact, which specified that the NSA would be able to monitor as much as phone calls, Skype calls, email addresses, IP addresses of ordinary British civilians who were only connected to those who they were watching under suspicion of acts of terrorism.
Right. No, and in that respect, Yossi Millman, I mean, come on, putting aside heads of state, this is access to civilians' phone numbers. For what for?
Well, first of all, we are talking about what is called the Five Eyes. These are the five nations, United States, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and the UK, which are partners in intelligence cooperation, real partners. Now, what's the point? First of all, we are talking about 2007. We are talking about, I'm not trying to justify the invasion of privacy. I mean, of course, that's invasion of privacy. But in 2007, it was 2 years after the UK was targeted.
7/7 bombing. Yeah.
Yes. So, you see, it's a problem for the kingdom. It's a problem for the United Kingdom, allowing the NSA to spy on British citizens. There are NSA installations on British soil, and I assume that what they wanted to target, what they were not really British citizens, but the terrorists. But part of that collection of information, they allowed themselves also to target what they called incidental conversations. In other words, in order to reach the conclusion that terrorists are plotting something, and in case they needed information about other persons, they decided that it would be permissible to spy on these UK innocent citizens. It's wrong. It happened in the past, and I assume it will happen again, because you see, I'm not trying to justify intelligence agencies, but if they fail, then the public would accuse them they didn't do their best to prevent it.
Okay, thank you, Yossi Millman. Thank you for joining us. Jonathan Sacerdoti, sorry for the little time that we had, but thank you so much with the information you bring us from Britain. And when we come back, the poetry and persuasion power of John F. Kennedy's speeches was never matched in history. We will take a closer look at his speeches, at his life, and the legacy that he left behind, both to the American public and to the world.